A visit to the uplands, if you're really lucky, may provide an encounter with one of our most spectacular birds, the hen harrier. Unfortunately, the future of hen harriers in Ireland now hangs in the balance, unless we can act to conserve the upland landscape on which they depend. The Irish uplands are an incredibly special place. These are some of our wildest parts of the country and some of our most important areas for wildlife. But our upland habitats are also increasingly vulnerable. Many of these areas have undergone huge change and have been dramatically degraded in recent decades. There is one bird in particular which is synonymous with our uplands, and that is the hen harrier. Alongside the changing upland landscape, however, the fortunes of this iconic bird of prey have also changed over time, and they are now one of our most threatened bird species in Ireland. Hen harriers are renowned for their spectacular aerial acrobatics, and early on a spring morning in our uplands, to be able to witness a male and female in full courtship ritual truly is one of the most magical and natural spectacles in the Irish countryside that you can watch. This is where the male rises up to dizzying heights before suddenly plummeting at speed towards the ground, twisting and turning and tumbling as he goes. And this is what's known as the Skydance. The reason the male goes to all the elaborate effort of doing this is to basically attract the attention of the female, to advertise his fitness, his skill and his manoeuvrability. This is why hen harriers come to areas like this during the spring and summer, is because this is breeding habitat for the hen harrier, our uplands. Another impressive behaviour is the food pass. This is where the male will deliver food back to the nest, and early in the breeding season the female will rise up to meet him. The male will drop the prey and the female actually flips upside down and catches the prey mid-air in her talons and then brings it back to the nest to feed the young. The hen harrier population has suffered long-term declines and is now one of Ireland's rarest breeding birds. The most recent national survey recorded between 108 to 157 breeding pairs. In the wintertime, the population is spread out right throughout the country. They occur in low-lying areas and along the coast. But in the spring then, birds move to upland areas. So they're actually quite confined in terms of their nesting requirements. And they really are dependent on suitable areas of upland habitat. Our uplands have undergone significant changes over the last few decades, and this has affected a whole range of wildlife which are dependent on these habitats. Bird species like curlew, merlin, red grouse, all of these were once much more common in our uplands, and this is also the case for hen harrier. As a top predator and an indicator species, declines in hen harrier populations should ring alarm bells with us. There are a lot of different pressures at play in the upland landscape in modern times, such as the intensification of agriculture, aspects like developments, disturbance issues, illegal burning. All of these have the potential to affect wildlife and to affect the integrity of our upland landscape. Probably one of the more obvious changes to the uplands is the extensive cover of forest plantation. Imagine looking out over these hillsides 50 or 60 years ago. The whole network of habitats would have been completely different to what they are now. Now it's forest plantation as far as the eye can see, and that's a massive change and obviously has the potential for serious implications for wildlife dependent on the uplands. Hen harriers are typically an open country species, but they do have quite an unusual relationship with forests. They will take advantage and nest on the ground in young forest plantation and also hunt in young forests, but as the plantation matures and the canopy closes over, it becomes less and less suitable from a hen harrier's point of view. Sadly, nowadays when you hear about hen harriers, it's typically negative. Somehow they've managed to move from the realm of relative obscurity to being surrounded in controversy and seen as an obstacle to progress. This doesn't have to be the case. Appropriate management of our upland landscapes, developments and farming practices can and should be compatible with the conservation of these important habitats, which hen harrier as well as a range of other wildlife and biodiversity depend on. If our skies were no longer graced with the sky dance in the spring, then we would be losing a magical part of our natural heritage.